I can stay up later and be a little bit more present. So that's why I chose this time. So
Okay, no
yeah,
worries. As long as it works for both of us, it's good. So before
yeah,
we begin, I just want to get a little slight introduction from you. I know that you do YouTube videos and everything, so you might be doing this from a long time. So just give me a brief introduction about yourself. Are you a full-time trader? When did you join GB Time community? Do you find it useful? Anything? Be honest with your answers, so we
yeah,
can give the proper feedback to the people watching it.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I just, so as far as my trading journey goes, long story short is I started in 2020 with some options trading and broke all the rules. Didn't know, you know, I should paper trade first before risking real money, all that type of stuff. And got the bug hit me. I made like $1,000, I think, on my first day trading some options and just pure luck, right? And so I was like, oh my gosh, I made $1,000 in a couple minutes, And anyways, and it bit me. But then I lost it all by the end of the week and more. And then uh, revenge traded, and it was, just broke all the rules. So long story short, I spent a lot on different mentorships. Um, Around 2023 or four, I started seeing stuff about ICT, and I was like, what is this ICT thing? And then looked into that, and then started trading ICT uh, around, yeah, late, I think late 24 and fall of 24. And then learning how to trade. At this point, I was still risking my own money, and then I got into prop firm trading. I think like early 25. Um, I was kind of late on the prop firm train, but anyway. So then, yeah. So I started. So since then, I was just wanting to document my journey of just learning to trade. And I mean, my old streams, like when I first started, you could see me losing like a couple $1,000 in a day of my own like real funds, my own real money, just trying to catch a falling knife. Not knowing what I know now, just experience behind the charts. And so um, yeah, so I joined. So I went through different mentorships, Zeus's. My first mentorship, I think, was Hydra back in the day. Zeusy, Jamie, and then I got Hoppy's book like I think earlier in my maybe mid. I think I should get my times wrong. I think I started training ST late 23, so all 24 I was still trading. So I think like around mid 24, I got Hoppy's book, but it was the old version and it was confusing, and I just kind of shelved it because I just didn't really understand it. And then when he came out with this trifecta system, or it got updated to the trifecta system, I anyone over to Trading University, I really dug in and got a better understanding, and that helped a lot. Like, it was really helpful. And then that's when I saw your stuff. When was this? This is, I don't know, earlier in the year, and then that's when I saw your stuff. I'm sorry. I did Bronx's mentorship for like a month, and saw he used GP time, and that's when I was first exposed to GP time. And then I discovered you were the inventor of the main person. So then I saw in Hoppy's mentorship that you were sharing your stuff, and then I still wanted to master. I remember messaging you like before joining. I was just wanting to get a better grasp of GB levels, and then I joined yours. So I think I joined yours in, I don't know when it was. Maybe it was in May or April, May, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of the journey in a nutshell. And yeah, I mean, as far as
So how do you
um,
find GB time? Do you think it works, or is it just another what is a new shiny thing that's in the market?
I think both in a sense, because there's always going to be kind of a new shiny thing. I think people that there's always that temptation for traders to search for like the thing that'll make them profitable, right? At least it was for me, right? I kept strategy hopping and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, I mean, the algo path is the truth. It's just like so obvious. I've just first when I was beginning to track it and see and learning to trust the algo, because always in the Discord, just you always say trust the algo, and I'm finally beginning to learn to trust it. And so yeah, it's been, I mean, really eye-opening to see the paths play out and to see the logic behind why price are moved to one point to another, not just through liquidity sweeps or not just through PD raise, although those help support the thesis, but really because of the algo path, and for me also because of the levels, because I use the GB level, the trifecta levels on the right, and I see time and time again on the 2187 PO3 range, I see time and time again, like it moved through these different levels, and I use that in conjunction with time. But it's just like so obvious to me. So yeah.
Right, yeah. So I asked all my members the same thing, right? Even if you're not able to do it live, which will take time, but when you look at the chart in hindsight, do you see the algo path play out, right? If that answer is yes, then there is a logic, or there is actually an algorithm which has some logic that you can use to trade.
Yeah,
I might take 3-4 years to learn it, you might take 1 year to learn it, but it depends on individual. But at the end of the day, the algo path is not, what I believe is, like, it's not because I found it out or anything. We all have to credit Hopi Plaka for it, but I believe that this is the closest that I have seen where I can explain to anyone about how from a point A to point B the price moves. Right, and this is what ICT was also talking, like with Enigma. It's not just taking one trade a day or 2 trades a day. It's about knowing why the price moves. Is it liquidity? Is it some big players playing, manipulating it, or is it some algorithm that is coded into the price action? So it doesn't matter whether you trade it or not, the market will keep on moving. Right, so I treat it like a video game. Right, I have a final boss who's sitting on the other end, and he's just giving me puzzles to solve, and I am an individual trader that I have to trade. That's it. I don't care about other million traders who are trading. They don't affect anything. It's only me and the final boss, right? That's how I view it as a game. Now, are you a coder? I know that you have indicators and everything, so you have background in coding.
No, I'm just they call it vibe coding. It's essentially coding with AI, and that was kind of out of necessity because I, since joining Brox's mentorship, I was like, oh man, it's awesome, but I'm not profitable yet. So paying $100 to continue using his indicator suite was like, man, I don't want to like pay that. I wish I could just pay one-time fee and just own it, And so I was like, well, let's see if I can just code it, right? So then I started coding it and put tons of time and energy into getting the way that I see it, right? Like getting it right. And so, so I mean, it was more out of just because the resources were there as far as AI goes, and just knowing.
It's good because you learn something, and it's your own logic that's coming into play. With the use of AI. So it's good.
Yeah.
And are you a full-time trader, or do you have any?
No, I'm not. My wife and I've been a full-time entrepreneur. I've been owning my own business since 2014 or 12 or something like that.
Okay.
But so I've been working myself for a long time. But my wife and I kind of shifted gears, and we do TikTok shop as a business. And so this is more. So for me, I desire for this to be a full-time thing. Where I can contribute a ton with this, which I believe I'm getting close to being there. But honestly, because of bad psychology, I used to chase trades a lot, trying to long in premium or short in discount and then get burnt because of the algo path, which I didn't know back then, right? I would do that a lot and just blow accounts and blow money. So I've passed tons. I can pass accounts pretty easily. But my psychology has always been bad. My sizing has always been bad. Like I would pass accounts with, large sizing and just pass it. But then when it comes down to the discipline of managing my risk, I wasn't there. And so I just have never been able to get a payout yet. And so working my way towards one right now with a couple of funded accounts, but have yet to get a payout. So
Okay, great. So
yeah,
thank you for your introduction. Hope the members also get a feel like it's not easy. We are all grinding
yeah,
here. So you might have the setup, Holy Grail setup, but there are still so much of other issues that we need to work on, right? It's not only about trading. Yeah, but I
yeah,
wish you good luck and see. Let's see if I can help you with something here. So, what are the challenges that you face? As you said, you're chasing the trades, but right now you are not. You're trying to use trifecta levels with GB time to align both the concepts, which is also good because I know with trifecta what happens is you're only focusing on certain areas. You're not trading all the time, so that kind of
right,
uh, brings in a little bit of
yeah,
discipline. So, what are the current challenges with this mentorship for you so that I can help you with it? Any concepts
yeah,
that are not clear for you? Anything?
yeah. So well, I kind of dove into Zoo's channel. I mean, a little early, I think probably a little early, but I liked. I mean, his basic concept is just like seeing price retrace to the 50, right? I mean, that's one of the main concepts, like core concepts, and there's of course rules around that. But um, um, that and the levels, yeah, definitely has helped me um, gauge and not chase trades a ton. But the thing that I have, this is actually, I think I've made a lot of progress in the past, like just week actually, because I've been watching your live execution trades in the open. Those YouTube videos have been so helpful because I get to see how you think, and everybody gets to see how you think, and of course being in the mentorship, I'm familiar with the concept, so it's like it's less of a learning curve for me. So seeing how you read and gauge price as price is printing, um, and how you are tracking the algo is helpful. So because prior to that, I was I would either get in the wrong swing point, and or for some reason I would like sometimes I would think, oh, this 35 is going to get faded, so then I would long the 35 instead of short it. As an example, like that's happened a couple times before, or maybe the 34 is printing and I would get in a little bit early, but then 35 would sweep it, and then I would exit, but then the 35 was the swing low, and I should have maybe waited for the 36 to get in, things like that. Just like entry. I think for me, the hardest part has been learning um, a good entry point. And so what I've been doing now is I have a 15-second chart on my right where I'll see like a smaller CST or like inversion or order block CST on the 15-second, while I see the 1 minute on my left on my my main chart. Um, that's been helping. And then watching your videos, seeing like you would say things like, oh, if this if it sweeps here and then creates um, creates at the right time, then that's the key, right? Because I think before, um, I guess I was like looking at, I don't know, I was maybe not clear on the sweep, and it was a certain swing low, but it wasn't quite a sweep of a significant level or even like a level. And then I would think that was a swing low or something, but then it was a false print and it wouldn't print the low, um, as an example. So I think for me, just short answer is that the entry is still kind of the biggest thing I'm working on to get the entry right and to
Okay.
gauge like yeah. But what I like, and I think in yesterday or today, is for you set these limit orders kind of at different levels, like shorted right at different levels, because you're expecting price to open and it hit these levels, but you had like price, you should not pass here, and um, and it did that. So and I think sometimes you would even enter on like the 34 candle, and then you'd wait for the 35 as an example, and then the 36 would confirm it, and then you'd put your stop, or mental stop at that 35 low. So I just seeing you do that, it's like, oh, okay, that's how he gets these like really good entries, because you're entering slightly early, maybe a little bit aggressive, and then confirming. Once it confirms, you add, and that's what I've learned from watching some of your lives. So that's been really helpful.
Yeah, so the idea of the live execution videos are the same. Like, it's not going to be perfect trading. It's always
Right.
going to be you're entering and then a 36 will print a high and then you have to change your bias on the live. So it's all you're having an idea, and that idea needs to be invalidated. Until that time, you have to respect the algo path. That's what I want to show. It's not about that I get all my entries right, all my trades are profitable. It's not that, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
good, you caught those points, because that was the objective of making the execution. Because every other people will show you the exact highs and lows, whichever trades
Right.
they win, they will show it to you. But in live, it never happens like that. It's always going
Right.
to be an ugly trade that's going to make you money.
Yeah, yeah, like for sure. That was today. But what I've been focusing on, and because you said a lot in a lot of your videos, like focus on the start and end paths, and I was kind of experimenting with that. And then now I'm set on trying to, well, for me, because of my time constraints of really trading the open, and then I specialize. I would say I have my highest win rate in trading mock, like market on close, the last 15 minutes a day. Um, and I just like that volatility because I capture, like 25, 30, 50 points like in less than 15 minutes, right? So I just love that volatility. But the reason, sorry, I'm trying to think while I was sharing that brain part. Oh yeah, so the path that I focus on now is really seeing, 17, like the end of algo 1, 17 to 29, and then the reverse algo 2. That's all I really focus on. And then I'm learning, starting to learn to read on mark on close, the 50 candle, how 53, 56 will play out, and how 0 and 3 will play out, all the way up till 11 sometimes if we're going reverse algo 2. So I'm kind of learning. I'm getting better at that, but I think for as a beginner, if I was to give advice, it'd be just to start with 17, 29, 29, 47. Like that's it. Just stick with that, learn how to read that as a starting point, and then expand. 'Cause that's what I'm
Yeah,
personally
and
doing.
that's all you need, right? Either it will give you a big move at the end of the path, or once it starts a reversal or a new path, that's where you're going to get big moves. So if you're able to
Yeah,
get in and hold it for a long time, then you would probably catch high or low of the day sometimes. Okay,
yeah,
so
for
what
sure.
we do is today it's like a boot camp session, right? So I want you to share your
Yep.
chart and walk me through what you are seeing right now. How would you interpret the algo path or your trifecta levels, anything, so that I also understand, okay, how you are trading, and if there is some corrections that I need to make, or if you have some questions, I can definitely answer.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I'll share my screen. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah,
See that?
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is the 1 minute chart. This is my 15-second chart that I execute on like Trade08. Is a 27-minute, and there's another 1 minute with like a different, just like uh, 50 levels. But I mainly look at the 27. So what I normally do is I'll go on the 27 and look at gaps or look at levels that are close to the GB levels. So, I'm looking at going all the way left, looking at this order, I think it's a devil's mark is what they call it, like a candle with no wick right here, really close to this level. So I think we're probably end up there. But then I'm also looking at gaps and order blocks. So I'm looking at that potentially. And so I'm seeing as my higher time frame, draw. That's how I'm looking at that. And then, so for now, what I'm seeing as far as the paths go and the levels, like right now we're in a premium flow gate and we rejected the premium flow gate, right? So we might come back down to the equilibrium down here, and then come up to GIF level and up to this level later, which potentially might happen now, depending on what 3529 does. So right now, printing 2935. We have, I use SS&T as well. These greens are order blocks. These are 35 gaps right here. And it looks like, so now if I'm tracking the path here, I'd be looking at the major swing points. So there's 29, 14. So here's the 35, 41. So this is where I just kind of like try to track what I'm potentially seeing. So I'm checking this. This is the end of an algo. I mean, right now, I'd be looking at like, okay, we're obviously bearish, right? Big displacement candle. I think we're going to at least hit EQ. Probably this, maybe even this gap. This is an open gap here, right here on the 27. So yeah, I mean, as an example, I could potentially enter short there and expect to hold here for 35 or 47. That's what I would be looking at right now.
Okay. So normally what I'm looking for is like, let me tell you my perspective, right? So,
Yeah.
Right. So if I go back and look at the 27-minute chart like you are looking at, so we are in the first presented fair value gap, like the big 15-18 gap. That is the last gap or the first gap that was created after the order block was placed. This was on 27th of July.
Right.
So yeah, I am expecting bearish price action here, but what can prevent this bearish price action is this today's 618 candle. That is a bullish gap. So this is on the 27-minute.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Right. So for me, it's a very simple concept. So if there is a bullish gap, then I expect bullish price action unless the price tells me I'm wrong. If it is a bearish gap, I will expect bearish price action. It's as simple as that. I will not try to overcomplicate it. Now, from an algo path perspective, if I go into 1 minute, so the highest high that I have is 14.
Right.
So I know 14 should go to 23. That is the first option that it should do. So where was our 23? So if you see here, 824, 825 created a high. It is in resistance.
Right.
So this means this is a signal for anybody who is trying to trade two paths at a time that this is continuation below.
Right.
But there is no liquidity sweep right now. So liquidity sweep is still our 14 is the reference. So what do you think the next path it should match if 23 was not respected?
So 41, 44.
Yeah.
For algo.
Correct.
Right.
So it's that simple, right? So it has to go to 41, 44 for it to low to be formed, and then I can long it.
Right.
So
yeah.
Meanwhile, we are coming into the fair value gap as well, that 27-minute bullish fair value gap that I told you.
So I was just repeating, I want to make sure I understand the logic correctly and correct me if I'm wrong here. So because 14 is our main reference, we should expect to see a swing higher, swing low at 1723. But because 1723,
you figure out only 23 because CE time is very important for us. So
right. Okay. So it should go to 23, and then since 23, not like actual 23 was nothing, but 25 was a swing high, then, I mean, not even a major swing high, did take like a little bit of liquidity, but not much. But because of that, then I can expect lower prices, and of course 29 even confirmed it with that sweeping those highs. And then because of that, because 23, if I'm understanding what you're saying, because 23 didn't create any major like swing, 14 is still a reference, so then it is actually forward algo 1.
Correct. And if you look at prior to 14, there is 8 o'clock or 801 high, right? 801 high sweeping a liquidity. So you know you are in algo 1.
Sorry, you cut out for a second. Are you saying prior to 14, there's there's a low 4 here.
There is a high. There is a high formed at
A high
801,
3.
which has swept a liquidity, right? So
Right.
I also mention it in several of my lectures, saying that okay, if two paths are stacked at resistance, then it is more bearish. So here 801 is also in resistance, 814 is also in resistance, so it's going to melt a lot.
Okay. So, and in that case, it doesn't really doesn't matter if it's CE or GB, because in this case it's 3 and 14, right? So it's CE with, sorry, it's a normal Goldbach level with a CE level. Does it matter either way, or is it more complementary with both CE levels or CE times? Sorry.
So for me 801 is not 7. I'm not considering it as 7. It is 00 for me. So that is where I would start looking for 11 or 14, right? But since 14 made a high, I would think it's pretty resistance, because CE time made a resistance.
Right.
Now if the market was still bullish, it would have created 23 low and it would have continued higher. But it didn't. It created a 24 high,
Right.
which means it's going to drop until the next path, which is 41.
Right.
Now
Cool.
at 36 it's creating a low. Do you want to show along this?
Would I long this?
Because you've been taught to trade 35, right?
Yeah, well, it's 14 should go to 40, 41, 44. So I would short this 35 gap and expect it to go lower, because we still haven't created a low at 41, 44. I mean, I wouldn't short it now, but if the path is, if we're following algo 1, then it should go lower. I would expect, just based on levels, down to this GIF level in this open gap right here.
Right. So from a time perspective, I wouldn't long either at 35, because 35 doesn't make sense from a 14 high.
Right. Right.
So this could be like a 36 creating a low here, and then 41 or 44 sweeping it and then going higher.
Right. Right. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean, this is very obvious, not even just from a time perspective, but from like a SMT perspective, like all these different confluences, lining up, and from a Goldbach level perspective, like flow gate, premium flow gate, rejecting that, going back down to this flow gate. And so probably,
one learning that you could have, right? Like now you're using flow gate as one of your confluence. So at these flow gates, if there is a start of a new algo, like here it was 00 to 14, right? So that will give you a big move, because you're right at that 71 or 29 flow gate. Right.
0. Okay, got it. So because 0 to 14 is a sort of new algo, I understand. Okay.
So that started a market maker sell model right at the flow gate.
Right. Okay.
So then you would tend to hold on it for a long time, because anyways your price levels at the trifecta levels are also telling you it's a sell time. Right.
Right. Because I think we're going to at least go down.
Yeah. So this is how you combine both these concepts and try to hold on for a long time. GB levels will give you the entries.
Sure.
Even without the trifecta levels, but that is just additional confluence for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Wow. That was super helpful. Okay. Well, so I haven't gotten. I know some people in the Discord, like forget his name, but some people they're just like ping ponging, back and forth, and they got to that level. And I believe I can get to that level. I mean, I've seen you do it. And so I guess my next question, following, after 44, would you, because the path is met at 44, then would you long if 44 creates a swing low? Yes. And expect these gaps to be filled? Yeah.
Well, this is where you trust the algorithm and say, okay, yeah. So why does the price stop at 14, right? It's because there is an algo that is running here. That's why it stops at 14. If it was random, then it wouldn't stop at 14. It could have stopped at 17. So for me, this is where I would challenge the market and say, now 44 has to create a pivot for me. And if it creates a low, I will long.
Right.
and then it should go until next path, which is 3.
Right. So, okay, so let's talk about that. So 44 going to 3, then we have to pass through, 47, 53, all those things. And then while it's printing 47, 50, 53, 56, are you still continue to gauge order flow based on those CE levels to reach 3 as your next path?
Okay, I'll make it simpler for you. So whenever you are looking at an algo path, now 44, say assume that you get a low, right? So
Right.
it can be only reversed only by 2 things. One, by its own mirror. So 844's mirror would be 852.
Right.
Okay, and otherwise it's algo path which is 3 or 7. So you shouldn't worry about 47 or anything.
Because we're in algo 1 right now.
I'm back. I had a call.
No problem. I took a long at that little 15-second gap.
Yeah.
So I saw the wick of the 43.
So this is where you observe how 44 will behave now. Okay, 44, if it creates a high and starts to dump,
Right.
it is similar to your 23, how it happened, 23, 24.
Right. So since 20, it's showing good displacement here. Potentially, we get a close above these two, order block. The rejection block is holding. And 44 is printing. 45.
So we need not worry about too much. Okay, if it takes the low, then it's likely to go lower. So you easily flip your bias.
Okay.
So what the market is telling you is it's not done being selling yet. So it's going to be more sells until the next path, which is 3. But we need to be below this 843, 844 low.
All right. Got it. I'm just going to get out there. Small little loss. Okay. Okay, so that's good to, I mean, even just structurally, it looks like a sell model, right? All the way down to this low. To this, was it?
Yeah, this is where people get a lot of confusion. Like they'll say, okay, why didn't 44 react? But when you actually look at it, 43 created a low, but 44 is creating a high. Right? Look at how the manipulation is.
Right.
But it's no fault of the algo. It's doing its job. It's only we are getting in early or we are not waiting for confirmations. So it's mostly our own mistake, right? That's causing us losses.
Right. So then your thesis would be then to potentially 40, like the end of the algo would be, sorry, this is a sub model. Obviously, this is original consolidation. Take this low, and based on the path, that potentially could be taken at 3 or 3.7. Is that what I'm understanding you kind of say?
Now let's think through this. Okay.
Okay.
So still our low high is 14, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So 11 and 14 and 3 do not have a relation in the algo path.
Oh, right.
Right. So what it could do is it could manipulate you towards that low that you have marked until 852, which is also 44, which is the mirror 44. Right. So, but 11 and 52 has a relation. Do you see that in algo 2?
11 and 54. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to always think in terms of solving this puzzle, like where should I get in so that I get maximum benefit out of it. So if the high is 11, then trading at 23 is a good option. Trading at 44 is a good option. Trading at 52 is a good option because you know you are in algo 1. So what you can do is you can write down like what are the different options of 44 that you are going to get in this hour. One is 8:44 and another one is 8:52.
Right. Okay. So, you know how you made that? Let me just open up here. I think one of your videos, you had write this out here. Let me just. Like that, the paths
Yeah.
have both,
These are two
numbers
paths.
on. Right, the two paths. So, looking at this, so in this case, we were looking at 14 to 40, 14 to 4750 or 4753, right? So because we haven't.
No, you need to have the context of the algo that you are in. Okay, are you convinced that we are in algo 1?
Yes, because it's 14
because of 0, 0 and 14.
Right.
So then the algo should puzzle out a 41 or a 44 that can create a low for us to enter. Okay, so what are the different 41 options that you are going to get? Right now also you see 848 is also 41.
41, right.
But if 852 creates a high, it's going to dump. Why? Because then the market will see that as a GB to CE number, 41 to 44.
Right. 41.
Is it complicated? If you want me to explain, I can do it. Maybe I can share my screen and talk through it so that everybody understands it a bit.
Yes. Hold on. 41 to 44. I'm just trying to see because I get it. So 14 should go to 41 to 44. 41 was this candle. 44 was this candle, but the mirror 41 is 41 right here at 250. Yeah, go ahead and share your screen, and I'm not fully grasping it. I think I understand. This is 44 here because 50 is.
So let me walk through like how I would be thinking right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see I entered randomly the lows because I think it's going to go lower. Okay. I was in a big drawdown, but that's fine. But that's where you trust the algo. So you can see here, this is 801, which is 00. Okay. And this is 814. So this triggered the market maker sell model. And now we need to look for, as per the clock, we need to look for 23, but 23 was not the low here, it was the high. So it started to dump. As per the algo path, it should go to 41 and 44. Now 41 is here, 844. Now you can see here 843 created a low, but 844, 845 created a high.
Right.
Which means it's bearish.
Right.
Now what are the other options of 44 that we have in this hour? So it's either 848, which is 41, or it's 852, which is 44.
Right.
So you can see here 841, 848 printed a low. So here 852 is now currently, if it prints a high, then it is going to dump further.
Right.
So this is my idea. So I can say I short another 2 contracts here. I could be wrong, but this is my logic of playing the algo path, the entire algo path.
Interesting. Okay. Let me risk one, sell one right here.
Now we could have entered early, or you could have wait until this 852 actually makes a swing high, and then you can sell.
Yeah.
So that is your little bit of entry, how you take it. Like it could be aggressive, it could be you wait for some PDRS to form and then take a trade. That's all is fine. But if I'm where I am wrong is Now this 854 candle goes above this, then I am wrong.
Right.
Because then 854 will become 46, and 46 has nothing to do with algo 1. So it has to drop now, or else we continue higher.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I understand.
And look at the 27-minute gap. So this is a bullish gap, and this is we hit the order block. So if it from here, if it expands higher, then that's also the one of the models that I teach, like the first presented fair value gap. So that also is valid here.
Yeah, if it expands higher. Yeah.
See, now I would take it out. Like it's 854, no interest because it went above. So I would try to buy here and hold it till 07.
Okay.
Now what you need to think is, okay, what is the low here? Low is 47.
Right.
So from a minute perspective, it has to meet 7 and 3 and 11, because 47 and 3 do not have a relation in any of the algo path. So I would think this market is likely to go up until 912.
And you said what, 912 you said?
Yeah. Can you think why? Why 912?
Hold on, 912. So I'm seeing 1114 as our next swing high. 912. No, I'm not understanding why 912. Like on the minute 912, what are you talking about?
Yeah, 912 at the time here. So this market should go on until 912.
Oh, sorry.
Time here.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at New York time. Let me just observe. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because reverse algo 247 to 1114.
Yeah. Now this is where you really get confused with algo path. Okay. Now you are thinking, why did 47 make a low? Because it is actually not 47, but it is 848 gives you 41. When you subtract. So it is matching with your algo 1.
Right.
Now 41 should go to 3 or 7 in algo 1. But since the minute is 47, it cannot directly go to 3 or 7. What it needs to do is, it needs to create 11, which can also give you 3. Now this is where it's going to get really complicated, but it's not that difficult. And 912 gives you 3 when you subtract, and 912 is also 11, just purely based on the minute.
Right.
So this is where it meets both the path, and that's why I think we are going above until 912.
Interesting. Okay. 912. Yeah, because we also have, structurally just have a lot of gaps above as well. So engineering some relatively highs right there. So yeah, so I just turned on my indicator. I could see all calculation methods, and yes, it's just 47, 41, which would make sense, as 41 being the path we met as that swing low. Okay. And then 12. Okay, nice.
And unless you really understand how this algo is presented while tracking one of the algos, like how it is calculated and what are the times that it could go to, then it will really become difficult for you to track the whole algo. If that is very difficult for you, then you have to just play 2 paths at a time.
Yeah, that's what I've been focused on, just 2 paths at a time.
Yeah.
Mainly focus on the 30, the 35 to 47.
So let me ask you this question. So there is this 836 low here, right? So do you see this low? 836
36 low. Yep, right there.
And there is 847 low here. Would you long this? Because you said you're going to follow the end of the reverse algos here. So this is 36 and this is 47.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm looking at my screen. Hold on a second. Where did it go? Okay, sorry, say again.
So you have 836 here in the lows,
Right.
and then you have 847 in the lows. Both has taken liquidity. So this
Right.
is your definition of reverse algo 2, right? Would you long here and hold it till 11?
Right here. Yeah, I would long there. Yeah. I would long there also because of the relative equal highs, like right there, and a lot of the unfilled gaps, and there's a lot of confluences. So I'm in a long right now at 28.
So what is your invalidation point? Like where do you put your SL?
The 47 would be my SL. Pretty big stop, but that would be SL, I think. Wow. Okay. So maybe it's hitting my SL now.
Yeah, for me, this shouldn't happen. Like we should go higher, and we could pump the next candle, which is the beginning hour candle. But your idea is not wrong until this 48 is broken.
Yeah, that was a crazy drop.
And this is why I asked you, like, what is your invalidation point? Because price could still go in your favor, but how would you handle this drawdown?
I mean, I'm thinking about getting out right now because I'm just like, I don't like that unless I see some displacement higher. I need to see us get above this gap because I don't like how it. Yeah. Okay. So maybe interesting. So. Okay, wicking that, so that is 0. So we should
again 0 0 making a low, so that because this also has a destination at 11. The next path of 0 0 is also 11, right?
Right.
So
So
that's
11
why
should
it
still be.
scares you by falling. But I think my idea is not wrong.
Okay.
My idea is wrong only when we break below 848, which it could do, and then I'll have to accept the loss.
Right.
As of now,
Okay, so
it doesn't say that I'm wrong or the algo path is wrong.
interesting. Okay. I see. What about the 35 gap? Would you mind that at all, or are you more just looking at the path? Because I mean, there's that 35 on the 835 candle.
Yeah, 35 gap is also good, but since we are tracking algo 1, I wouldn't give much importance to this gap.
Okay.
If there was a 844 gap, then it is still 35 because 36 when you subtract it. So you could still consider this as a valid gap. But this 835, not so much.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if this limit order. So I'm putting a limit at, or first partial at these relative equal highs, like the 514 level. That's where I would potentially take one off. But it's looking pretty. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay, hitting these order blocks. Could sweep this. and then go higher. I'm just looking pretty bearish, honestly. But let's see here. No, 3. Let's see what 3 does. 3. So when, in this case, right, we're waiting for 11. How do you gauge 3 and 7 as they print? Are you expecting a 7 to continue having a swing low so that 11 can be that swing high, or what are you doing with 3 and 7
So
at this
for
point?
me, see, this 848 is the low, right?
Right.
So this low cannot be taken until we print a 11 or its own mirror. So its mirror is printed here, like 848's mirror is 856.
Right.
Okay, so it's saying we are going lower. The only reason why I'm holding it is 848 is also giving 41, which
Right.
is aligns with our algo path.
Right.
But 856 does not align with our algo path because it doesn't give you 41, 44, nothing it gives. So I think this is just a scare tactics. It's going to go higher.
I see.
Now this is where you trust the algorithm, and trusting this when you are in such big drawdown is always going to be a challenge psychologically.
Yeah. I mean, for you, did that just take seeing it play out all the time? Or, I mean, like, what's the? Because for me,
I'm
I was
just trusting the algo, right? I'm thinking this is 41, so at least it should print a 11 here. Until then, it won't go down. At least for that low. So my SL is this low.
Right.
So far it has not touched it.
Right. Yeah, which is crazy. I mean, it's also the confluence, a 90-minute SSMT. It hit the LLOD on the levels and rejected. So last line of defense doing its job, as Hoppy would say.
But the earlier 2 trades that I took, they are pretty bad, right? Because I didn't wait for 43 low to be printed. So I just longed here, but immediately 44 took me out. Here also entry was pretty bad. Right? I was waiting for 852 short, and I shorted here without waiting for the high to be formed. So it's not a fault of the algo at all. It's my own impatience that's causing me losses. Right? That's also I want to be very clear with people who are watching and to you as well. So it's not anybody can blow an account. It's not a big deal, because our entries can be slightly wrong. We can size up a bit, we can revenge trade, and your account is gone. But did the algo, did what I teach or what is there in Hopi Plaka's book, did they not work? No, it did work. It's only our own incompetence that's going to cause us losses.
Right. Okay,
now,
so now
if I had panicked and cut my trade, that would have been like easily the account is blown, right? But now I am in green, which means at least I can take some portion out, and then I can think about my own mistakes.
Yeah.
Correct. So this is what I wanted to show, that algo path you can enter anywhere. There will be no perfect trades. Right? See my entry. Where is it? It's a very stupid entry. But that's how it's going to be for anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is a very good example of how you manage trade with emotions. I'm not trying to panic because my idea is not invalidated. I'm not trying to add more and be stupid. I'm not trying to cut the trade to short to lessen my loss. No, nothing like that. I believe in this idea, and this idea should work out. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, love it. So coming up on, I was in one contract at what was this? First contract was 28 0.8487, and then my second one, I added another one lower at 0.8469.
So are you still holding,
Yeah.
or did you
Yeah, I'm
panic?
still holding.
Okay.
No, I did not. Thankfully, I was ready to at that zero candle. I was like, oh my gosh, it's getting close to 48. You know,
That's what
but
happens, right? The big
yeah,
candles is going to cause a lot of emotions, and you
yeah,
think your idea is wrong. This Goldback is bullshit, or that this and all. You'll start thinking.
yeah. But I mean, it's yeah. So my first TP is about to hit at 514. Um, let's see here if, and then I'll maybe hold to 14 to see what 14 does. Let's see here. We did sweep that low. I think higher time frame. We're gonna we may come back into the range a bit, and then New York will go higher. I think. I mean, it's Friday. It's 2 more days of the month. So this is probably the monthly wick is what we're creating. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So here's first TP for me at least, and then if so in this case, would you take one off here, or would you hold to 14 and take one after
Yeah, I
14?
can take one off here because right now the algo path is also met, right, at 10.
Right.
But 14 is where actual reversal can come, or if 14 is in support, we can add more for continuation higher.
Right. Okay,
But
so
now
let's see
when you
here.
look at it in hindsight, it's so perfectly done. So 848,
Yeah.
852, both are in low, which means 41, 44, both are in support of this algo 1. Now it needs to print a 3, so 3 will print at 912. So this is where we could see some dump.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, man, should I have taken all my? I mean, I only have 2 contracts in, but
So right now equal highs are swept, so you could take, because the market is, it created equal lows in the below as well, so it could immediately come back in the next 1 minute.
yeah.
But
But then
as
again,
I,
it could.
and now there is a new algo one that is starting from here at 9 o'clock, that if you see 00 created
Yeah.
a low.
Zero clear low. So
So everything is
rest. Those.
pointing to 11, right? This 47 is also pointing to 11, 00 is also pointing to 11.
Right.
So you know, when these kind of influences, confluences get created, then you know this 11, 12 is going to, or at least 14 is going to come back, or
Right.
at
For
least
sure.
react.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna put my other limit at this little volume imbalance at 534. At this gap, it's about 50% too of all the of this range. So I think we'll at least hit there.
Now
Maybe 50%.
915 is also 6 when you subtract, so it could go higher until that time, but I am out at 912.
Okay.
So
Oh, you're fully out.
I clearly analyzed this is the time I will hold it till, and what was my invalidation point? This 848 low. So nothing is hit. So in between this, I don't care what happens as long as my idea is solid.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if 14 is going to create a high and take this. The next level for me is 540. 28,540. Let's see if it takes that. Just one contract left. This is a 25K account that I won. So let's see here. 1413. Volume balance. Let's see if we get up there or not. I think we will. Build this gap a little bit. There it is. Boom. All right, cool. All right. So not bad. 2 contracts. $179. Not bad at all. I'll take that.
So you had your heart in your mouth for a bit, right? when that
Yeah,
when that
yeah. The zero candle, man, was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so if 14, let's see what 14 does. So 14 just creates a gap or something. Then because 14 is also 3. Let's see here. Wow.
So this is the power of the algo paths and the GB time. If you really analyze it correctly, don't panic. You would have easily made around 83 points by now.
Yeah. Can we talk through a review of Thursday's mock session? So I took this long, and it was a super obvious long, and it was like a great trade. But I did. So essentially, what happened was that I thought the 50 equated the low, but 56 was the actual low. And then we went to the high that was the gap. Do you mind if we talk through that and I share my screen? I just want to get your analysis on it from a time perspective.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So let's go. Change the New York again. Here it is. So this is the 27-minute gap, I think, somewhere around here.
Yeah.
7. Okay. Anyways, it was a 27-minute gap. Let me get back to it. 20. So when I came on the charts around like, I don't know, 3:45-ish New York time. Just looking quick analyzation, I saw that obviously that gap was the draw. Up here was the gap, and then the 27-minute gap. So I got in long on the 50 candle, kind of around this order block, around 220. My invalidation was a sweep of that 50 candle. Then when I saw 56 sweep that, I was like, okay, that's low. Then I got back in, and then took a couple contracts off here at this 20, this 258, and then had one runner and pick it up here at the high, at the gap. So looking at this, let me just go to replay here so I can. How would you read this? So 17, obviously swing high here, right?
So
29.
This is a very good learning for you. So look at both the wicks there. Okay, both the wicks created the high, right? One is at 11, one is at 18.
Right.
So 11, 17 should go to where? 11, 17 is a path. It should go to 59.
Right. 11 should go to 59.
11 and 17 both should go to 59.
11 and 7 should go to 59. Okay, 17 to 59.
And look at the low that pumped this price.
55.
Not that. The 00 candle prior to that. So we had one more retest of that wick, which was at 1559.
Sorry, hold on. Are you talking about this low? The 4 o'clock candle?
Yeah. So
yeah.
So what is the idea is that 18 created a high. So 18 should react at 35 first. And if 35 doesn't react, then it has to react at 59. It's as simple as that.
So if 18 creates a high, or 17 creates a high. Okay, hold on. Let me just walk through this so I can understand your logic. Should go to 35, which it did. Didn't react like with the big one. So then we should expect because it didn't break there, then we know we're in algo um,
Two
reverse
reverse.
out
Yeah.
to 15 to 59, which it did there on this
So
candle. But
until
then
59,
56,
it didn't leave the range, right? It was just chopping around, and
right?
at 59, it started going higher to tackle that 17 high.
Interesting. Okay, so
That's what I mean when I say playing two paths at a time. So until that 59 is going to get printed, the market's not going to move. So even if you
hmm,
buy at 50, it's not going to move. It's going to cause you anxiety.
wait till the 59 candle to print and then buy because of all the, I mean, this draw was really obvious, all the, the LR here and then the big gap up here. So it's really obvious to me, but
And it was also in
time,
the first gap of that big BC that you see, right? So many gaps, and it
right,
just accumulated longs until it reached the last gap, and then it flew.
right. Yeah, this gap right here. Yeah,
So you
cumulative
should
longs
never
here.
enter
And
anywhere in those gaps. You should always enter in the first presented gap, which is the first gap. And here you
yeah,
should enter at 59. So that would have given you the perfect trade. Now I think you entered at 50, which is still it's going up and down and causing some anxiety for you. But 59 would have given you the result immediately.
yeah. Well, I entered 50. I took a loss because it's what my stop was at 50, and then I entered again at 56. Once I saw 56 sweep it, I was like, all right, cool. That's CE. So then I entered somewhere around here at 56, and then it spiked up here. Took this partial right here, and then once it came back down, I moved my stop to break even. So it came back down. It got stopped at break even, and then I once I saw that. So my thinking was that I thought this was going to hit at 11:14 because I was still thinking 56, and then 11:14 would hit the high. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, since it is
Was that
59, it stopped at 3 or 7.
uh 37? Interesting. Okay.
So it was just 1603 and then dropped it.
So 3, yeah.
And since it
drops.
ended reverse algo 2 there and it started a new algo 1 at 00, then 11 provided the support to continue higher.
Hold on. Okay. So since it ended algo, started algo 1 here, because. Sorry, say that last part again. It ended algo.
Algo 2 reverse ended at 1603.
Oh, right.
But 1600 had taken liquidity, so it chopped around until 11 and then it went higher. So it's all algo path itself, right? So all this time distortion, the consolidation, the chop, whatever you call it, it's just waiting for the right time to react. That's it.
Right. So this is like a blend of algo 2 and 1. The 59 to 37 right here, or it could be here 0, 3, 0 to 4, and then the 0 to 11 is the start of algo 1. So does that always happen around the 0, like the 0 candles?
Yes.
So it always
that
kind
is
of
why
like
the 0 candle is always going to scare you. Right now in our trade, you were scared of that 9 o'clock candle, right? The trade that we took right now.
Right.
So that created an algo 1. So that will react at 11 as well, 11 or 14.
Interesting. Okay, so I can always expect, or at least should watch and look out for the end of algo 2, and then the beginning starting at algo 1, kind of like a doing it in tandem in a sense. Yeah. Okay. Wow, very enlightening. Thank you. That's great. Okay, that's super helpful. Okay, so let's get back to what's happening right now. What printed? 14, and then 11. So that's nothing. So 17 here. Okay, so okay, so if I'm reading this, then if
So C number C23 is not printed yet, so 23 could push the price higher.
yeah, if we sweep 20 on 23.
Yeah.
So in this case, what I've noticed, at least for myself, I like around the 1723s, it's I get, I guess, confused on trying to trade the two paths here because I get scared of like, oh, 29 is coming up, so then I don't know what it's going to do. I guess I'm just not, you know.
See, our high is 11, right? 11 should go to 1723. So now it can create these liquidities around 17 and 23. So you can see 317 was a liquidity low, 318 or 320 is a liquidity high. But our aim, our focus should be at 23-24 minute. So right now it is pumping. So this is where I could long and hold on at 324.
Because 23 didn't really, I mean, it did sweep a little, tiny little sweep on 23. But because it's pumping, you're like, okay, this is going to be continuous.
Showing the direction. So if it creates a low there, then we know it's bullish.
Yeah. Right. And then, so then would you hold till 29 for this one and get out at 29.30?
Yeah. And you can also see that there are still gaps left on the sell side of the curve that it has not filled in.
Right.
So your best short will come only at that first presented gap.
Right.
So no point in selling somewhere in the middle.
Right. So then would you expect, or at least kind of look out for a swing high formation potentially around here, 29.35, because of this first presented gap, or maybe just gauging these order blocks and these gaps? This is another, first presented gap in these order blocks. Is that kind of where you just kind of gauge price?
Yeah, I would like to trade short only there, because at that first presented gap and near the order block, the market has to decide whether it has to go break or it has to reverse.
Right.
Until that time, it's going to just chop around and create more liquidity before it makes a final decision at the first presented gap.
Right.
That's why it's such a great concept. If you look at 27-minute also, now that was the last gap which it reacted from. This big move came there.
Right.
So it had to decide whether to dump or to push higher, and it decided to push higher.
Yeah. So going back to these, when you made that video on the two paths, and that part, it's not showing that. I think when you wrote these out. So I'm really kind of missing that logic, at least what to look out for when I'm tracking reverse cycle 2. Because I think for me, I just track from like 29 to 47 to 11:14, and I kind of just ended there. I don't really, I guess, haven't advanced or gone further than that. But really, to understand it fully, I need to look at 17 to 59. I'm just talking out loud to see if, and also when you made that video, I don't think you wrote 17 to 59 as a path number, so that's why I think I didn't focus on that, because I was just focused on 17 to 29.
Yeah. So every path has minimum 2 or 3, apart from every path has at least two ways it can go, right? So say 41 can go to 11, 41 can go to 3, but you are thinking about what comes first on the clock. So on the clock, 41 goes to 3. Similarly, 17 also, it's always going to react at 35 first, and if 35 is missed, then 59 is the last one.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. How about wraparound pats like 29 to 0 or 29 to 37?
So
Do
right now
those,
you could see that. So right now our reference is 0 0,
right?
and there is no sell side sweep apart from 0 0. So if we get a 29 or a 35 high here, I would like to short.
Right,
So right now we balance the gap as well. So you could short
right,
if you want,
right,
but 35 can ruin it because 35 is the CE time. So you should be careful or watchful of 35, what it does. If it creates a low, then it's going higher.
right. Yeah, you could short here till 35, maybe fill this gap. Just, yeah,
See, now you could have long 23 and made those points, and now you could have
yeah,
short and made the same points.
right,
That's the power of trading with the algo paths. It is like every move is designed with some path or the other. Now, are you quick enough to find it? That's a big different issue. That's a skill that you need to work on.
right. Yeah.
I mean, I also
So
worked on
what?
it, so it is not like I got it overnight. So it's going to be hard work from on your side, but you have to
I mean, I just need
be
a
on this.
paper trade live. That's a lot to do that, you know. So 29. Interesting. Okay, so this is where sometimes we get fake out too, right? Because 29 is a swing high, could be the swing, the 27 candle. And then right here, the 30 candle could be a swing low. So it's a mirror if it's, going to chop around a little bit, right?
Yeah, the only
Um,
confluence or the confidence that I have for this trade is because we are in the first gap.
hello. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay,
If you
sorry.
didn't
The last
hear,
thing I heard,
uh,
yeah, the last thing I heard you say with the last confluence is
the
then it cut
first
out.
presented fair value gap that we are in,
Yeah.
so more likely it is likely to drop, right? Maybe it will
Right.
do one more drive until 35. It will take the high. It will give you an opportunity to add more contracts, average your trade, and then dump.
So, okay, so let's say 35 takes its high, then obviously we'd hold to like 47.53, right?
Yeah.
But if 35 creates a swing low, then would you expect 47.53 to be high?
Yeah,
Swing
but
high?
35, yeah, 29 swept a liquidity, so 35 need not sweep a liquidity. So for me, I would look at 53, 56 to enter.
Oh, hold on a sec. Hold on. Rewind. So you said because 29 swept liquidity, 35 need not sweep liquidity. You would just wait till 7:53 for your next.
50, 56, because those are the CE times.
Oh, right. 56 to enter. Okay. Unless 35 swept 29 again, then you short, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, yeah, it's looking like it's going to print 35 in the lows and continue higher.
So then you wouldn't long on the 35 and hold.
Yeah, if 35 is still here in the first presented gap, so right now around 324 gap, if it comes there, then I will long.
324 gap. Wait, are you saying that if 35
So right now the price is falling, right? So
Right.
we are expecting support to form at 35. So if it is in
Right.
that 324 gap, then I would long it.
324 gap.
So I'm using EST like you, so just to not to confuse you. So
Yeah, 324.
yeah, it's there only. The first gap after this order block, the high that went 33 high. Yeah, that one.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I was thinking too. The first presented gap after that. Okay, I understand.
So whenever price is dropping like this, it's not a big displacement or anything. It's most
Right.
likely to
Just
go higher, right?
right.
So we can
It's very
cut the
balanced.
short and we can long it here because we now swept a liquidity also in the first presented gap, also at 35 time. So this could push higher.
I see.
But you need to wait until the low is formed. That is where you would have to bring in your patience
Right.
because you can't assume on behalf of the market. So let it show it actually wants to make a low and then you have to get it.
Done that so many times. That's why I like looking at the 15-second chart at times. Yep, the cutout area.
Yeah, I heard your question regarding market and limit orders. See, it's not going to be so perfect with any of your entries. You have to take a risk. So right now I took a trade even without the 34 low being formed. So what are my
Right.
confidences here is the 24 gap is the CE gap, right? I think the CE gap will hold, and that's why I longed it. And 35, I know 34 is going to form a low because it was dropping down into these bullish gaps. That's why I was able to quickly take it. But if you otherwise, you will have to wait until a gap is formed, or now right now it is hitting the order block. That's where you can enter the market.
Right.
So there's no clear answer where I can give, okay, you should do market or you should do limit orders.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. All right, let's do a sell here. So
And right now it's a very
47.50.
small range, right? I mean, even if you're long, you
Right.
have to go target probably the immediate high there.
Right. That's what I'm targeting.
But when we
29.
longed at the lows there, we had enough range to play. So you could
Right.
hold on to your trade. So you should always try to get in when the market is making big ranges on both sides.
Right. And we're kind of in the middle of this larger range, so it's just not like a super ideal. It's more of a continuation play. So I'll hold the other one till about this gap here. Let's see what it does. In this case, coming up on 41.44, are you mindful of that, or like how do you navigate? When you're looking at this case, what do you do
So
with
I
41?
know that 9 o'clock created a low, which means algo 1 is in play. Right?
Right.
So this could be a mirror situation where, I mean, I'm talking in Zurich time, not in US time, because in US time it won't be a mirror. So if I open Zurich time, it will be 9:44, could be 35 as well.
Right, because right now 9:39 could be also be 20.
29, but 9:39 I'm not interested. It's better to have 9:44.
Right, 44 could be. Okay.
So So I can hold this
So
trade until 9:44 without worrying too much. There will be, like, when the market is in this kind of accumulation, it's going to retrace and it's going to make you feel like it's coming down, but it's not.
right, yeah, cool, super helpful. Okay, because what I've been, I mean, without doing so much math and like mirrors for me, I just kind of navigate. Okay, 44, you know, rate to swing high, then or kind of if 44 stops it, then I just get out, and it doesn't go to 47 for because the reason in the mirror, but I think we should do that. I remember in one video, or you said that there isn't really a preferred time for you to trade because it's just like a preferred window per se. But my thinking is that if I just master, let's say in my example, market on close the last 15 minutes of the day, and only trade that time and only trade the open, then I know all the different combinations. So I have them so memorized and locked in, that I'll essentially be able to read the algo that much quicker because I know those calculations like a lot faster. Have you have you found that to be true, and how do you navigate that, or what do you think of that strategy?
Sorry, can you repeat it? Like, did you mean the end of the hour?
So just trading, like, let's say right now, let's say that someone only trades Monday 2 to 4 because of the hours,
Yeah.
it's always constant 9, 9 to, what is it, 9 to 11, or what do we trade, 8 to 11, because of the hours are always constant in Zurich time,
Yeah.
and we're all doing the calculations at that particular time, we'll know, okay, 9:44 is always a mirror. So then you kind of always know that in the back of your head. In the same way, for me, I just want to master, market on close and the open. That's it.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I would know these like, for example, 9:44 New York time is a mirror, could be 29. So things like that, where it's like these nuances of certain hours will, if I always trade that, I'll always have those calculations, those mirrors in mind. That's my thought, and that's why I kind of just want to master like certain times. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
I mean, you can already have, say, if you're trading only the New York session, you already know
Right.
where are your 29s, where are your 35s before even the market begins, right? Because
Right.
the time is constant, you already know it by heart. So I know it can only react at certain areas or certain times, and if it matches with the path, then I can immediately get in, not worry about all the other times.
Yeah.
Just focus on market close or during New York session or London kill zone, whatever. Just have some of these. I mean, they are not that difficult at all, but as a beginner to
Right.
this concept, it might seem like too many times to remember. But I am sure, like 1 year from now, you'll be able to repeat all these times in your sleep also.
Yeah. 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 For sure. Okay. Cool. So there's 44. Let's see if it pushes up to this. It's a flow gate, but it's also the first kind of these order blocks. So 587. So we'll see what it
The
does.
fact that it is not pushing the price beyond this FEG and it is just waiting until the mirror is formed, I think it's going to dump. Right? These are the clues that you need to understand from the market.
Right.
Sometimes what happens are, we think, okay, we are right, our greed comes in, fear comes in, but the day you start trusting the algorithms and cut your ego saying that I mean, now if it runs 100 points, we can't do much about it,
Right.
but this is where I would not take a risk if you're already in profit.
Right. Understood. Yeah. No, that's I had 2 contracts on. I took them both off. I mean, had one off at that 29 or that 27, sorry, and then I was thinking about holding one till 587, right about this level, but it's okay. That's the thing I love about GB time too is that if it's given me a lot less FOMO because I know that another setup is that a couple minutes away. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
So a lot
Is
of people, this is what I see.
yeah,
Like I agree with you. Like a lot of people would buy this low and they try to hold it. Okay, which is also great. But we have the opportunity to get in at the retracement at the right times. Like say for
right,
example, getting in at the 23 low or 35 low. The CE times will tell you the direction. So why take
right,
unnecessary risk? As long as you are in front of the system, you can always take it. If you are a busy
yeah,
person, then you might not be able to. Then you
right,
might want to focus on swing trading.
yeah. Well, I mean, even that. I mean, that's why I like New York Open or mock, the close because you get that volatility in 50 minutes. I can capture 50 points, 25 points easily.
So right now at 946, what is it achieving is it's achieving 45 high, which is also 36 subtraction. It's also achieving algo 1's 44, and your reverse algo 2 is also being achieved here at 35 to 46. You see, and we are also at the first presented fair value gap. So it's a very good shot which I am in, but I'm not saying you to take it, but that's how you should analyze.
Sorry, say that first part again. I didn't see the other calculations. So I saw obviously 47, but what were the other paths that were
So
met? So we have
945 is also part of the high, right? So
right,
945 is just 1 plus 1 of 44.
right,
So you are meeting the algo path. Algo 1, right? And
right, right.
945 is also 36 when you subtract. That's also a mirror path from the 35 low. So it's a very high confluence trade.
Got it. Yeah, because there's so many paths that are being met. Yeah.
Now if the reversal has to come here, now the CE time of 47 is 50. So I would take one contract at 50 and let the others go or hit break even. That's how I would trade.
Right. Got it.
Okay, so we have another 10 minutes to go for this session. So let me know if you had any other questions or you want me to cover anything else.
I'm gonna get in this short as well. No, I mean this is really super helpful. I think. I mean the biggest takeaway for me is like knowing like that 41. Or sorry, 17 to 59 was pretty big. So yeah, that was just really helpful. And let's see how this is gonna do. Yeah, I mean, I think that that wasn't basically it.
Yeah, so my advice is that don't FOMO. As you said, you have plenty of opportunities throughout the day. Even if you're trading just a few hours, in that few hours you can nail every swing and swing high with the proper logic. So don't ever think that okay, you missed out on a trade or you have to get in. Don't chase price.
Yeah,
The algo path's going to keep printing the same times over and over and over. It's just you have to be cautious of your stop losses, your consistency rules, and all that.
Right.
So keep that in mind. Don't try to just gamble away. This is a very good knowledge to have, to scalp and to keep hitting those prop firm, uh, that requirement that you have to do every day, right? So
Yeah. 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 Very, very helpful. This is great. Okay, man. Look at that 50 dropping. Exit a little early. It's okay.
so imagine people trying to short every other move before reaching the first presented gap, right? It's going to give you moves only there.
Right. Yeah. So probably gonna take out this 35. So 47. Yeah. So you said the reason why you would get out at 50 is because this is CE level essentially, right? But
Yeah.
would we get most of your position out and then maybe leave until 56 to see if 56 would create the swing low, or would you just take everything out at 50?
Yeah, it depends on how much you are, where did you get your entry in, what was your contract size. So if I was trading mini contracts and I was like 3 4 contracts in, then I would take it out here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna reach this little volume imbalance. At
And
least.
we also reached the 35 gap here. So if you see, there is a 935 gap,
Yep.
not that one. The currently where the price is, that should be your gap.
Yeah. So there's 53. Tracing here. Let's see. Up to the first presented gap. What are we gonna do? Yeah.
So you see the bounce, right? So this is where GB time really helps you. If you are a bit greedy, you're already out of your trade or you're breaking.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that 51 swing low, just as you said. Yeah, boom. And then my indicator now just confirmed it. But by the time it confirmed it, it was super too late for, because the third counter closed and then it confirmed the path being met. So indicator lags. But
Yeah, as soon as the price slows down, you should be out. And if there is 35 FEGs or 35 candles, then it will provide support. So you should be out.
yeah.
So now we are clearly in algo, reverse algo 2 from 35 low. So it should go
Right.
till 11. You should wait until 56 what 56 does, and from there you can take your decision.
Right. Yeah, because just waiting for 53 and 56 to print. 50 was a swing low. So 56 creates a swing low. Both 50 and 56 would be strong confluence if we're going higher. If 56 creates a swing low. Right? Plus CE times.
Yeah, 56 in the low, then you continuation long until 11. 56
Yeah.
makes a high, then you short again. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are very close to the end of the session. So if we don't have anything else to talk, we'll anyways be on Discord, so you can always reach out to me for any questions.
Yeah.
But I think this was a very insightful session for you, for me as well, because every time I do this live, I also learn something.
Good. Yeah. Well, it was very, very helpful for me. So thank you very much for your time, AJ. I appreciate your generosity and just your openness and open heart to, share your knowledge and really want to see everybody succeed. It really, shows through how you communicate and just your, you're just always so helpful. So I really appreciate, yeah,
Thank
really
you. Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much, and I wish you good luck. Keep grinding. It's going to feel
Yep.
tough, but it will become easier, like it has become easier for me now. But
Yeah.
when I was in your place, I was also in your same situation. So don't give up. Keep grinding, and one day it will definitely click. Okay.
I
All
appreciate it.
right. Take care,
All
and
right.
thank you for your time
Thank you,
as
AJ.
well. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.